going on, people? What's happening? Happy Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well. Big up to everybody locked in. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe as well. If you are new here, big up to everyone locked in. How you lot doing, first and foremost? I feel like it's been a minute. I think what, Friday, maybe Saturday was the last time I did a stream. I think I dropped a video on Saturday as well. Yeah, so I think the last stream that I did was actually Thursday, because I dropped a video on Friday and Saturday. And now it's Tuesday. But the football season is here, guys. 3 days away from the Premier League campaign. And I don't know why. I'm starting to feel excited. Not for Man United per se, but maybe just because football's back. And when football's back, there's a bit of structure back in all of our lives. The Premier League season kicks off. La Liga kicks off. The French League kicks off. I think Serie A kicks off a bit later in the month. But football is back. The transfer window is taking shape for a lot of teams. And Manchester United are still getting active in the transfer window. So that's one good thing. Man United are still active, despite the fact that we've brought in Sesko, we've brought in Cunha and Mbeumo. And some people don't seem to be happy with that. But Man United are still potentially going to be active in the transfer window, as there's still about 2.5 weeks to go of that. But a lot of people are making moves in the league, guys, right now. I mean, Eze could be on his way to Spurs. Savinho is on his way to Spurs. Rodrigo could be on his way to Manchester City. Donnarumma could be on his way to Manchester City. Garnacho is trying to force his move to Chelsea to a point where he is threatening Manchester United. I mean, it's from Fabrizio Romano, and we're going to talk about it in detail. Obviously, he didn't put out a statement online or anything, but it came from Fabrizio Romano saying the message is clear from Garnacho. It's either you let me go to Chelsea or I will sit on the bench for 6 to 12 months. And you know what? In my head, I'm like, don't threaten us with a good time. Don't threaten us with a good time, because I for sure know that probably 99% of the fan base will probably share that same sentiment, where they don't feel threatened by that potential outcome. I mean, you're playing with your future. You're playing with your transfer fee, but at the end of the day, Manchester United will probably be happy to pay you your little 40k a week and have you rot away in the reserves. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Carlos Baleba, because it's being reported that Man United are they're really thinking about it. And one thing I think about Manchester United with the Sesko bid and with potentially Baleba, I think Man United will only go in and make a bid for Baleba when they know that Brighton are willing to negotiate, number one. And number two, if the price is right, Brighton are willing to sell. I think that's the only way. Because with Sesko, Manchester United only went in with their first Sesko bid when there was reassurances that he was, willing to pick them, number one, number two, and that Leipzig were willing to sell for what the right price was. And Man United were ready to meet that. Now, I was listening to talk of the Devils as well. And I was reading an article on The Athletic that was talking about, the new credit facilities, or it's not new, but it's the credit facilities, the revolving credit facilities that Manchester United have access for, that actually has now an influx of money available, over 300 million in credit. If you lot don't know, it is finance, but Manchester United find themselves in a position, because of the cash injections from Jim Ratcliffe, they find themselves in a position to be able to utilize their credit facilities a lot more than maybe what they would have been able to if this was 2 summers ago, 3 summers ago, etc. So we're going to talk about that. Big up to everyone locked in the chat. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in, and be sure to get involved in the conversation. What we got coming, I mean, with the football season starting, like I said, guys, with the football season starting, there's going to be so much content here on the channel. I have some big announcements to make, hopefully, in the coming weeks. But also there will be a lot of content, a lot of pre-recorded videos. Still, live streams will go ahead, but you guys know, once the football season starts, especially when the transfer season ends or the transfer window ends, it's very difficult to do daily streams, because sometimes there's nothing to talk about. But I will be doing a lot of different types of videos, Man United related videos, player profile videos. We'll be doing a lot of tactical videos. So, for example, Man United play Arsenal on Sunday at 4:30 in the Premier League. Friday afternoon stream, Daily Dose, will be a mix of transfer / tactical preview, if you want to call it that. Then after the game, I will drop my normal reaction video, and then a day or two later, I will post the tactical breakdown, maybe the next day. So on the day, I will post my reactions, And it won't just be limited to obviously Manchester United. You guys know last season, at the back end of last season, I was doing a lot of kind of football content, La Liga, Premier League, etc., etc. So I will be doing that. But then the day after Man United game, I will post the tactical breakdown of that, because that'll give me some time to rewatch the game, take my notes, etc., etc. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for all the different content and follow me on all platforms, because like I said, I got a big announcement coming in the next couple of weeks. Garnacho has a contract till 2028, so we can destroy his career if we want. I don't think Garnacho realizes what he's actually doing. Before we actually talk about Garnacho, can we just talk about something that is happening? It's not Man United related, but I just want to talk about it because I want to hear everybody's view on it. Now, David Ornstein confirms this morning regarding Alexander Isak that he has reiterated to Newcastle that he will not play for Newcastle this season. Now, it's interesting because I know a lot of Newcastle fans online are riled up about this. They're annoyed about it. And I'm not gonna lie, you look at it from one perspective and you think, well, you should have bowed out gracefully from Newcastle. I mean, I always knew that it would be difficult after him handing in his transfer request for Newcastle fans to welcome him back with open arms. So I get that. But the way he's pushing for a move, reportedly he's sold his house in Newcastle, and also he's told Newcastle, the owners and the manager, that he will not play for them and he's happy to sit out. But also, it's being reported by David Ornstein that there was an agreement that Newcastle will let him leave, number one. Number two, he told Newcastle during the season last year and at the end of the season that he still wanted to leave this summer. Now, this is why I'm always skeptical of this thing about gentleman's agreement. Like, if you ain't got nothing in paper, the guy, he never had a release clause, right? He should have signed a new deal last summer and put a release clause in that contract, which would have forced Newcastle's hand. Yes, they might have given you a little bumper contract, but it could have been a situation that I think, for example, with Cunha, a lot of teams do this where the player wants to leave, the team don't want to lose him for peanuts, so they value him at an X amount price tag with a release clause, and just let him leave the following summer for that release clause. I think that's what Isak should have done, but now it just looks bad. I mean, Newcastle fans are very unhappy with him trying to essentially force a move, but it's not new. What Isak is doing, I don't think it's new. I think the only reason why people are annoyed about it is because he wants to go to Liverpool, or Liverpool want him. If this was Barcelona, if this was Real Madrid, if this was Bayern Munich and this was happening, I don't think people would be that riled up about it. Now, he's not the only person that pushes for moves or is pushing for moves. We've seen Anthony do it when he wanted to join Manchester United. We've seen Wissa, who has been on strike. Wissa has been on strike at Brentford. He hasn't trained with them. He hasn't joined them for preseason. I don't even know if he's going to be available for them for match day one. He wants to go to Newcastle. Brentford are blocking that move because they want 50 million for him, whereas they were willing to accept 25 million from Saudi for him. So this whole forcing moves kind of thing, it's not new in football. It's not new. It's become more prevalent, I think, over the last couple of years in comparison to what we've seen historically. I think the only reason why everyone's talking about it is because it's going to Liverpool. He said he's never playing again. I mean, you look at it from both sides, and this is what David Ornstein was saying. He's saying that after Isak had informed them last summer, well, actually, he was told that he wouldn't get a new contract last summer. So he then decided that he made it clear that would be his last season at Newcastle. And like I say all the time, if you ain't got it in writing, you ain't really got a leg to stand on, because this is, at the end of the day, football is business. Like, I don't agree with it. I think if you give someone your word, like in my culture, in my religion, if you give someone your word, like, you've given them your word, so you have to do what you've promised them to do, even if it's outside of your means anymore. You can't go back on your word. And in football, I can't say that is the case. But I think it's silly to assume that the club would take, like, you took the club's word at face value. It's a business at the end of the day. If they're not getting the price that they want for you, they are definitely not going to sell you. They are definitely not going to sell you. And I'm not saying I agree with it. But I kind of see both ends of the argument. But this is the conversation that's kind of taken over my social media in the last 24 to 48 hours. Everybody seems to be talking about it. But let's talk about Manchester United, and big up MYS says, hi Mina, hey bro, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And big up to all the new subscribers as well, because the subscriber count has gone crazy over the last couple of days. People seem to really enjoy the tactical breakdown, as well as the second episode of Two Touch with Alice. So make sure you guys check that out. Now, Fabrizio Romano confirmed yesterday that Manchester United are expected to try and understand the situation regarding Carlos Baleba and whether there is space to negotiate. Now, we already know there is no problems with personal terms. We already know that, and I don't think it would have been an issue with him, because he's on like 12k. Man United could, multiply your current salary by 10, and you'd still be earning a heck load of money. But then today on the Athletic's deal sheet, so the deal sheet on the Athletic is dropped every Tuesday morning during the transfer window, and they go into detail about pretty much a lot of players and a lot of like transfer rumors. They confirmed that Manchester United are continuing to explore a move for Carlos Baleba. The talks have begun through intermediaries on United's behalf, and so far they've been assessing his willingness to join and the salary required, plus Brighton's potential valuation. Now, we already know one thing. Ooh, I nearly just broke my keyboard. We already know one thing. Brighton are not going to sell if it's not for the price that they want. And Brighton, I think, equate him right now to the level of Caicedo when they were selling him. So they either want to match that Caicedo price tag or absolutely smash that Caicedo price tag. He went for what? 115, was it? I think he went for, was it 105 or 115 that he went for? I always get confused between him and Enzo. But it's been reported that Brighton do not want to sell him this summer, and they prefer to keep him for at least one more season. Now, Ruben Amorim has pushed Manchester United, Jim Ratcliffe, Omar Barada, Wilcox to go and spend on Carlos Baleba to sign the strong athletic midfielder that he needs, because he is the piece to the puzzle of what Ruben Amorim is trying to build in the midfield. And we already know, I think, next summer, a lot of clubs are going to be lining up for him. Like, it won't just be Manchester United in the works for him. A lot of clubs are going to be lining up for him, both in England and outside of England. Now, Baleba's contract is up until 2028. He is keen on a possibility to join in Manchester United, and personal terms would not be a problem. Reportedly, a number of Man United players have been in contact with Baleba about a transfer to Old Trafford, explaining the current ambitions and landscape. Now, the biggest thing, like I mentioned, was the price tag, and the cost of a transaction would be a significant hurdle to everybody involved at Manchester United. So yeah, they sold Caicedo for 115. But it was 100 plus 15 in add-ons. And David Ornstein and The Athletic are confirming that Brighton value him at around the same amount. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not going to lie. I kept saying that I was a bit skeptical about what Ineos were doing this summer. But the way that they've moved with the Sesko deal makes me believe that this could potentially happen. Like, it makes me believe that this Baleba deal could potentially happen. I have a conspiracy theory, guys, and it's not really a conspiracy theory. It's more so going off of what happened with Sesko. I think personal terms is agreed, reported already. Multiple journalists have reported personal terms are agreed. You know, a lot of players at Man United are caught in Baleba, you know, and we obviously know who those players are. It's probably Onana, it's probably Mbumo, it's probably Lenny Yoro. I wouldn't even be surprised if Ahmad is involved in that as well. They are caught in him and trying to convince him, but I don't think he needs much convincing. But what I will say is that I think Manchester United will go in with a bid when they know A, Brighton have room to negotiate, and B, they know that it's not going to be tough to negotiate with them. Look at the way that United moved with, you know, Mbumo and Sesko was two different type of transfers. Why? Because Man United with Mbumo, they started low with the incremental increase bid after bid. Rather with Sesko, they already knew how much he was worth, because Newcastle already bidded in for him. So they just went slightly beneath what Newcastle were offering. And that offered some negotiation room. And what Man United ended up bidding versus what they ended up agreeing was just slightly different in terms of the fixed and add-ons, but the overall package was still the same. So I anticipate Man United might do the same thing. And I think if Ruben Amorim is pushing them, I mean, the reassurances on the talk of the Devils regarding Manchester United's revolving credit facilities, that has made me believe this whole thing about Man United being broke, guys. I think they talk about Man United being broke from a cash perspective. That's what I think it is. Because when we were coming into the summer transfer window, everyone was talking about, oh, who is it? There was a journalist saying United got 100 million budget to spend. Man United have credit facilities. They always have. And what has helped Manchester United with their credit facilities, and it's not just them, a lot of teams use credit facilities, but what has helped Manchester United with the revolving credit facilities that they have the access to is the cash injection from Jim Ratcliffe of $300 million. That has helped Manchester United. So that means Man United, essentially, if you guys don't know, a credit facility is like a credit card, isn't it? It's like a credit card. You need 100 million for a transfer now. You use it from your credit facility and you just pay back your credit facility over a certain time. That can guarantee. Now, the thing is with Brighton, similar to like Leipzig, similar to Brentford and Wolves, they're gonna want a chunk of the money up front. And I think a team like Brighton probably are not gonna be like Leipzig and etc. I think they're gonna want a hefty amount up front, and they might be happy with the rest spread across a year or two. Doesn't credit facility mean they just use funds from the future into the present? So next transfer window, they will spend less? No. So what they do is a credit facility, either short-term or long-term, in the sense that if it's a long-term one, if it's a short-term one, which is what Man United tend to use, they allocate the credit facility. They get the loan by putting it up against future revenues. So future merchandise deals, future broadcasting deals that they anticipate they will get. So, for example, with the assumption that Manchester United are back in European football next summer, they will have more revenue. The only thing is it's not always guaranteed. So if Man United are using credit facilities, they have to win now, because they're putting that up against something. They're not going to put it up against the asset like their stadium or their training ground. They're going to put it up against their revenues or future revenues that they're going to be able to get. So in that instance, the pressure from the loan facilities will be like, okay, you need to win now because you need to pay your money back. So that is why I think, I can't say whether I agree with using credit facilities or not. That's a personal opinion I think that everybody can have. But if Man United are spending big in this summer transfer window, they have to win. Like they have to get and that is why I say if we spent like the Man United pulled the trigger like that on Sesko, and they pulled the trigger like that on Cunha, they pulled the trigger like that on Mbumo. If they sign Baleba, there's nothing. We're not having conversations here, guys, about top 10. We're not having, because Man United have to finish in a European spot. They will have to finish in a European spot because number one, the revenue increase is going to be needed. But also, I don't think you can spend that much money in a window and be kind of reassured with the idea of climbing up a couple of spaces from the previous season. I've already said, with or without Baleba, I expect Man United to be in a European spot, with or without it. And we'll kind of break that down ahead of the weekend. I don't know if you guys want, by the way, how you lot feel about Carlos Baleba. I know that I feel like with Carlos Baleba, I always say he reminds me of a little bit of a shiny new toy to some people. I've liked Baleba since he joined, before he even joined United. I'm talking about United. This is how you know I'm delusional, guys. Before he even joined Brighton, I liked him at Lille. And you lot know I like Lamine Camara. There's other talents out there, but I think when it comes to what you need in the middle in terms of an engine, you have to go big for Carlos Baleba. And I fully believe that when you have an advantage, I think the fact that the one advantage that Manchester United have right now, yes, they might have to pay a premium price for him, but nobody's going for him this summer because nobody wants to negotiate with Brighton. Nobody thinks Brighton will sell him. For the right price, Brighton will sell him. For the right price, Brighton will sell him. So the idea that United should wait till next summer when you'll be in competition with more teams, people who might have more to offer, people who might come off the back of, having won something. You don't want to do it right now. You got a free run at Carlos Baleba. For me, one of the best eights, one of the best box to boxes in the league. The first time I saw Baleba was when he bullied our midfielders last season. I remember against Brighton, I think it was the second game of the season, he bullied Kobe. He bullied our midfield. I watched him a couple of weeks later at Stamford Bridge And the whole time I was just in awe. I was like, oh my God, this guy is ridiculous. He made Caicedo and Enzo look like small people. He made them look small in the midfield. The guy was covering every blade of grass. 1 minute, I'm seeing him at the CDM position. Next minute, I'm seeing him edge of the box taking a shot. I'm thinking, how is this guy just gliding around the pitch so quickly? Like, no one could get the ball off him. The only thing I will say, and I've said this before, even like during the season, I said he's just, for me, slightly... he's still learning. So there's, he's been sent off a few times last season. He's given away a few penalties last season. But obviously with experience, you will unlearn that. And I think next summer, I'm not gonna lie, guys, Man City might want him. We can't let Pep Guardiola get his hands on a Baleba, a Yaya Toure 2.0. We can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. But he's a baller. We should sell Ugarte and play Baleba and Maino in the midfield. I'm going to come back to this comment because I did a tactical video on the weekend. Last week on Sesko. And there is a lot of indecisiveness in the fan base about where Bruno's future lies at Manchester United. If we potentially sign a Baleba, if we sign a midfielder, there's I really need to have this conversation with you because I want to hear what you have to say. Big up to Imran says we need him now. I want Baleba. Don't really care if we lose out on Donnarumma. Well, it does sound like Donnarumma might be heading to Manchester City. We're going to talk about that later on in the video as well. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Run him the money. I hear it. We need to target 75 to 85 points this season. 75 points gets you Champions League. 85 points means you are in a title race. Minna, if City get Rodrigo and Eze goes Spurs, the crash out will be phenomenal. You know what? Again, I like both players. And you know what? I actually think Eze would do very well under Thomas Frank. I really do think he would do very well under Thomas Frank. Rodrigo and Manchester City, I'm just like, okay, are you playing him right or left? Because if you're playing him right, that's not where he wants to play. He's always made it clear that he wants to play on the left. Alhamdulillah, excuse me, sorry guys. And then if you're playing him on the left, where's Omar Marmoush playing? If Rodrigo does end up, and I think because Savinho's leaving, I think he will definitely end up probably at Manchester City. The Arsenal crash out is going to be absolutely mental. It's gonna be absolutely hilarious. I will be there in 4K. Not that, and it's annoying because yes, rival top 6 fans are strengthening, but also we can't talk too much. We can't really talk too much. Let's not talk too much. Let's not talk too much. Anyways, let's talk about this guy here, man. Rodrigo and Marmoush on the same team is a nightmare. Put Shirky in there. Imagine a front line of Rodrigo on the right, Shirky in the 10, Marmoush coming off the left, Hojlund up top, Reinders and Rodri, a double pivot. You got Phil Foden on the bench. That is a spooky team if it clicks. But the thing is, a lot of those players are players that play better, except for Haaland. Shirky plays well with the ball at his feet. Marmoush wants the ball at his feet. Yeah. I think Pep is chasing. I have this theory that Pep is chasing that squad that he built with Jesus and Sterling, Aguero, the Sane, Kate. That was a team that casually everyone in your front line was contributing 10 to 15 goals. Imagine having a front line where everyone is contributing 10 to 15 goals. I think that's what he's still chasing now to kind of recreate that. And I just think when you have a focal 9 who basically requires not a lot of involvement and build up, but he requires deliveries into the box. But passes in behind. Shirky can probably provide that. But outside of that, he's not really offering you much. He's a goal scoring machine. I don't know. Man City is going to be interesting. I'm seeing people saying Man City could win the league this season. And I'm just like, do you not really believe that? Do you guys really, really believe that? But yeah, let's talk about Alejandro Garnacho. Let's talk about Alejandro Garnacho. Fabrizio Romano. Firstly, can we actually talk about how many tweets Fabrizio Romano has put out about Garnacho in the last 2 weeks? And nothing is new. I think yesterday was the first time he told us something new. Nothing he's told us up until yesterday was new. He was Fabrizio has been posting the same thing over and over and over again. I'm like, bro, when you got news, let us know, because this recycledness, I mean, I see people going crazy about the vaping thing. I don't care about that. I don't really give a shit about that. Excuse my language, but what a player does in this, bro, I don't care. The same way I didn't care when Rashford was out having apparently benders in the club and all. I don't care about that stuff. I can't. I'm not gonna say he's not performing well because he vapes. The hell. Anyways, Fabrizio yesterday saying that Alejandro Garnacho's message to Manchester United is, I want Chelsea or I stay here and I don't play football for 6 to 12 months. And this was from Fabrizio yesterday. Don't threaten us with a good time, man. Saying that you're not going to play for 6 to 12 months. I would like to see. I sat here last week and I said United should do exactly that. If they don't want to pay 50 million, no problem. At the end of the day, your valuation, Garnacho's valuation can decrease year on year, and that will impact Manchester United. But it will impact your career when you ain't played football for 2 years. Run your contract down at United. No problem. No problem. You ain't going to the World Cup anyways. You might as well start planning your vacation next summer. You're not going to the World Cup. Argentina are looking to retain their title at the World Cup, and you think that you saying I won't play for 6 to 12 months, don't threaten us with a good time. Don't. And one thing I will say is, obviously, this is coming from Fabrizio. It's not as if this is a statement that Garnacho has put out, right? You know, this was funny to me. Hold on, this picture. Someone just mentioned it in the what's it called? Where's this picture? Hold on. This is it. Oh, I need to actually find the picture of him in the gym. I don't want a picture of his gym. I want to see the picture of him actually in the gym. His gym is sick, by the way, can I say? But like, what made me laugh so much is the picture. And by the way, it was Fabrizio again. Look at this. Look at the surprise. Fabrizio was the one that posted this picture here. He posted this picture of here. Timer emoji. What makes me laugh is the people that are on the wall. The people that are on his gym wall. He's got Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, aka Muhammad Ali, Cristiano Ronaldo when he's at United, and then he's got a picture of Messi with the World Cup. That is not LeBron James mentality. That is not Christian. Do you guys think any of those athletes? Like, this is why I'm so shocked, yeah, because these are athletes at the pinnacle of their sport, yeah. Do you think any of them? Let me pull up the picture of his actual gym, what it looks like. Apparently this is what his full gym kind of looks like. It looks sick though, I can't lie. But I'm not being funny though. He goes against everything those athletes stand for. You think Muhammad Ali would do this that Garnacho is doing? You think Cristiano Ronaldo would do what he's doing at that age? Even at that age that Garnacho is right now, all of them guys were better than what he is right now at that age. Now, my only issue is that don't threaten me with a good time, guys. His stories are like someone who has just had a breakup, posting motivational quotes, attention seeking more than anything. Have pictures of Isak, Wissa, and Courtois up there. Let Alex, big up Ridwan, by the way. Says let Alex rot on the bench for 3 years, bun the transfer money. Chalaboy, big up, says it's a pity his attitude stinks. I felt all of last season selling now would be a mistake. We should sell in 2 seasons instead, but he hasn't done himself any favors. I mean, now he's honestly pushing for that move. Now that he's actually pushing for that move, I'm just thinking, what happens if you don't go? What happens if he doesn't go? Like, genuinely speaking, I think it would be a statement from Man. Like, I know we all joke about him being left out of the squad and, you know, being told to play with the under-21s. But I genuinely think that would be a statement from Manchester United, because I'm sorry, you don't go around throwing your toys out of the pram and essentially trying to act like the ball is in your court. The ball is never going to be, the ball should never be in the player's court. Yes, you need the player to work with the club to get the move, to get the transfer done. But you don't say it's either Chelsea or nothing. And if it's not Chelsea, and if I don't go to Chelsea, then I will sit out for 6 to 12 months. No problem. They should put him on statutory sick pay. I wish footballers, like people in the corporate world, like people, working class people, I wish they could be put on things like statutory sick pay, where they get paid 100 and something pound a week. Then maybe they would actually go to work properly. I am all for them leaving him out of the squad. I am all for it. Don't even let him go to Old Trafford to watch games. Don't let him do that. The way that Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford were pushed out for, I would say, less. Let's call a spade a spade. Marcus Rashford did everything he could to get a move away from Manchester United this summer. He took a pay cut. When people were saying he's not going to take a pay cut, he's greedy, he's this, he's that. In January, what did he do? It was clear that the manager didn't want him, and he said himself, oh, okay, maybe I should have a new challenge. He went to Aston Villa. He knew that going to Aston Villa wasn't the most prominent club. It's not one of the top 6 or the traditional top 6, but it was somewhere that he could just play regular football and eventually get the move that he wanted. Garnacho is here saying it's Chelsea or nothing. All right, then we could work with the nothing. We can absolutely, I think Man United could definitely work with the nothing. A fee of around £50 million should lead a move for Garnacho being completed. And Fabrizio also confirmed yesterday that Manchester United and Chelsea were in direct talks to get a deal done. Now, I think this is also going to help Manchester United get a move for Carlos Baleba. Obviously, we know Garnacho is 99.9% profit. United brought him for next to like 200,000, I think it was. But I think this will help Manchester United move for Carlos Baleba, so the quicker they get him out of the door, the better. But also not just him, but everybody else that's waiting for their future. Anthony, Sancho. I think Malacia is the only one we haven't really heard anything about, and he might just end up going for like 2 million at the end of the window. If you're gonna force me out, I'd want to decide where I go next. Still, if you want me gone that bad, terminate my contract. The thing is, I hear it. I hear it. If you definitely, but also I think clubs like Chelsea, for example, Chelsea are gonna lowball Manchester United, right? They're gonna lowball, despite the fact that they're happy to go and spend on, you know, other players. They will lowball Manchester United. To an extent, I agree with this, but to an extent, it's his responsibility with his agent, or not him, his agent's responsibility, that Chelsea know what Man United want. And the agent has to kind of convince them to pay that. Can I just say, his agent was at Stamford Bridge back in January against Wolves. He was being hosted by Chelsea, and nobody blinked an eye at that time. Nobody said nothing at that time. Amina, thoughts on Donnarumma joining City? It's an interesting one with Donnarumma. Let me see. I think I might have a picture here. Ooh. Manchester City guys are monitoring Donnarumma if Ederson leaves the club. Negotiations are ongoing on the goalkeeper's side. Personal terms won't be an issue, as Donnarumma is keen on the move to Manchester City. Also, for some context, Ederson is in talks in joining a Turkish team, which is why I think this news has popped up. But it also makes me think, why the hell did they buy James Trafford if they're going to go out and spend on Donnarumma? I mean, spending on Donnarumma is not that extravagant. It's not like they're probably spending more on Donnarumma than what they spent on James Trafford, right? Or around the same price. I like Donnarumma as a goalkeeper. I thought he would maybe go to Chelsea if he didn't go to Manchester United. I think Lucas Chevalier is expected to make his debut tomorrow in the Super Cup for PSG. So it's very, very clear that Donnarumma's time at PSG is done. And you know one thing about PSG, I realized, if you try to hold them ransom financially, they will kick you to the curb as quickly as they picked you up. And that is the situation I think they have with Donnarumma right now. Donnarumma went from having leverage winning the Champions League with them, etc., etc. And then now he's being told he's got no future at the club. It happens. Now, I don't know if I did see Sully reporting a few days ago. Shout out to Sully. I saw Sully reporting a few days ago that Manchester United were internally discussing a move for Donnarumma. I think Donnarumma is better than Onana. I don't know where this idea that comes from, that Onana and Donnarumma are the same in terms of being error prone. Because I watched PSG a lot last season. I didn't think they were on the same level when it came to errors. A lot of people just assume, most people I think just watch PSG in the Champions League. But even if you watch them in the league, he's a good goalkeeper. He's a great shot stopper. He reads it very well. I think he's a very tall goalkeeper. Like, tall goalkeepers are OP, guys. They are goalkeepers are overpowered because they take up the entire goal. There, you've already got an advantage. Instead, Man United have a goalkeeper. I'm not gonna lie. If we get Baleba, I will stop criticizing Onana. I'm not joking, guys. If we get Baleba and Onana was one of the people that played a part in it, let him stay at United. I'm all for it. I'll be happy to have him stay at Manchester United, not for the forever, but he's done his he's done his work. He's done his work. If we get Baleba, I'm getting that shirt. Nah, but honestly speaking, though, I think Donnarumma would be an upgrade on what we have. Lemens is another keeper that we've been linked to, and I know that I've seen someone in the chat just referenced a graph. I saw that same graph as well. I think it was comparing, was it David Raya? It was 3 goalkeepers it was comparing. I think you also have to consider, when it comes to the data metrics, the league that those goalkeepers are playing in, the quality of maybe the opponents they're coming up against. Yes, Lemens plays in the Belgian league, but put him in the French league, how would he do? Or put him in the Premier League, how would he do? Put him in the La Liga, how would he do? I feel like the metrics, and you lot know I love data. You lot know I love the data metrics and the graphs, but I think sometimes your perception of players can be skewed when you just go off of data metrics, just because data doesn't give you the full context and the full picture. It just goes off of the numbers. Onana makes Donnarumma look better than what he really is. He's a good keeper, though. Fairs. I don't think we'll get both Baleba and Donnarumma, but if we do, Champions League is a must. That's the thing. I don't see both happening. I really don't see both happening. And I don't see United getting Donnarumma and then Onana being backup goalkeeper. I don't see that happening as well. That seems way too far-fetched. I would love for United to get Donnarumma, but I don't see it happening. Let's actually go through this quickly, guys. Let's quickly go through this. How many likes are we on, by the way? Oh, shit. Let me just fix that quickly. How many likes are we on, guys? Are we on 100 likes yet? All right, cool. If you watch my recent video after the Fiorentina game, this table or this would look familiar to you. This would look familiar to you, right? If you've watched. All right, make sure you hit the like button. We're on 82 likes. So let's try to get to 100. Let's try get to 100. If you want to join the membership club, guys, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content. Of course, you get to support the growth of the channel, the ever-growing channel. We're en route to, I want to say 17K. I think we're en route to 17K. Hopefully, the goal is to get to 20K by the end of the calendar year. So we got about 4 months to get nearly 4,000 subs. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. And as I mentioned, tactical breakdowns before every game and after every game. One will be a live stream, one will be a video, so you can watch it in your own time. But if you guys look at this, obviously if you watch my recent videos, this will look familiar to you. This is what I imagine kind of Manchester United. This is for me Man United's best 11 based on what we have available, i.e. injuries, etc. This to me is Man United's best 11, if I'm being honest. Now, a lot of people that I have conversations with, conversations with seem to be torn about where Bruno Fernandes fits into the team. Like that seems to be the common conversation that I have with a lot of people. Where does Bruno Fernandes fit? Now, with the perception or with the idea that say this is Baleba, Man United signed Carlos Baleba. A lot of people, when I have conversations with them, are creating a midfield pairing of Meno and Baleba, Meno and Baleba, Meno and Baleba every single time. And I wonder, where does that leave Bruno Fernandes? Now, I think one thing that we don't take into consideration when we talk about Bruno Fernandes is his influence in the team. He's the captain, number one. Number two, as much as you guys might not like him, and I'm not saying everybody, but some people don't like Bruno Fernandes, he has influence over players. He is seen as a leader. You guys might not agree with it, but I know for a fact at Manchester United, within the Manchester United hierarchy, within the players, he is someone that people look up to. So if you are creating a new narrative at a club, if you are changing the culture, I don't think you just shoehorn Bruno Fernandes out of the club. It's like a passing of the baton. It's like the passing of the baton for me. You don't just throw the baton at the next person. You hand it over. And that is what I think Bruno Fernandes will be doing over the course of the next 12, 18 months. Man United might look to sell him next summer. That's a different conversation. But to me, this is what I envision Man United's strongest 11 to be as of right now, based off what I've seen in pre-season. Now, one thing I will say is Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw at left-sided centre-back. I don't think it's going to work. And the reason why I don't think it's going to work is I think this guy has lost every burst of pace that he has at Manchester United. Injuries has changed him completely. But if you look at Patrick Dorgu over pre-season, for example, if you look at the spaces that Patrick Dorgu takes up, traditionally it's that of a left winger. It's that of a left winger, which I think as a result, the left-sided centre-back has a heap of space to cover. Not only that, Bruno Fernandes, when in possession, comes central a lot. So now someone like Luke Shaw, who's playing on the left-sided centre-back role, their field of view essentially has to be that entire area, this entire area basically. This side here, which is where the traditional, right wingers would attack. And then the areas here where someone who is a 10 or someone who's an attacking midfielder, someone who's even a central midfielder, they will pick up. He ain't got the fitness to do that. Luke Shaw does not have the fitness to do that. And I remember Erik ten Hag saying something along the same lines of saying that Luke Shaw was better in a back four playing left centre-back, because in Ten Hag's system, the centre-backs were less progressive than Amorim's one. So he got away with playing that left-sided centre-back. If you don't remember, he played against Manchester City there. He got away with that. I don't think I think if he plays there, whether he's a starter or whether he's, a rotation player, which is most likely because, Leach will eventually come back. You got Aiden Heaven, you got Mazraoui that can play there, you got Yoro that can play there as well. You can, I think, expect to see less of Luke Shaw, if I'm being totally honest. Where's Ahmad? Ahmad's right here. Yeah, he's right here, right wing back. He's right here, right wing back. Now, for me, this is how I kind of predict. Actually, I actually think this is how Man United might set up against Arsenal. The only difference is I think maybe Sesko might not start, and we might get this kind of midfield, and we get Bruno in the 10. I think I might imagine that Sesko not match ready for Manchester United, only been there for a week. I would like to see him play. I mean, last year I saw De Ligt and who is it? De Ligt and Mazraoui play on the first game, only being there for a few days. He doesn't like being called Diallo, by the way. I know, but this is how the system is set up with his name on there. I didn't add these names. It's already set up like this, unfortunately. So I think this is how I can see the team starting. It would either be one of these two, Casemiro or Ugarte. I think it'll be one of those two. Now, I would be very shocked if Ruben Amorim actually starts Sesko. I would be very shocked just because I think he might give him some time to kind of get into the match routine. Now, with saying that, I also imagine United are going to play wide a lot. Like, by the way, I don't want to go into the tactical breakdown of it because I'm going to do it on Friday. I think United are going to use this space a lot, and it's going to be bam, deliveries into the box for Sesko. It's going to be deliveries into the box galore for Benjamin Sesko. That's what I can see happening. Not just that, but I need Mbumo and Diallo to get it together. Because let's be honest, guys, that Fiorentina game, if you lot watch the Fiorentina game, they stank when they played together. Both of them are trying to do the same thing. Both of them were trying to do the same thing, take up the same spaces. And I went through some examples in the video, but it's going to take a little bit of time. And that is why I'm not throwing my toys out of the pram with it. Same way with Cunha, I know it's going to take a little bit of time. Cunha and Bruno pick up a lot of similar spaces as well. They pick up a lot of similar spaces, especially in kind of these areas here. And even not just those areas, even these areas here. Cunha likes to do this thing where, I don't know if you guys see, but he likes to go out wide to create a 2v1 support with Patrick Dorgu. Bruno Fernandes likes to do the same thing, even when he's playing in that central midfield role. So I need them all to be on their A game. I need them all to be on their A game. But I am very curious to see where Bruno Fernandes fits in. I think Rasmus Hojlund knows that he fits nowhere. I think he knows that he fits nowhere at Manchester United now. And I also think it was very telling that the manager went with a false 9 in the final game of pre-season and then went on to say we needed a striker and we've got Sesko now. I do think Rasmus Hojlund will leave. It's been reported by multiple different reporters that it feels like his camp feels like he's been forced out of Manchester United, and no kind of decision that he makes will really help. He's gonna leave. That's confirmed. And reportedly Inter Milan, Roma, Juve, Napoli are also interested in him, as well as AC Milan. They all have made inquiries with Hojlund's representatives regarding a move. Manchester United are willing to let him go out on loan. I think AC Milan was the preferred destination for him. It seems like it's actually all Italian teams that are in for him, which says a lot about the Italian teams. I think they like a striker like him. It's sad the way his time at Manchester United has turned out. But I also think we just need to stop being so sentimental with everybody. I can't believe, there's people upset about Rasmus Hojlund leaving, And the reason why I say I can't believe that is because I've seen my favorite players leave Man United, and the world kept spinning. The sun still rose. The clouds, the moon, the stars, everything still existed outside because life went on. Life continued. I don't know how, and those are players, the players that I was upset about leaving, they were players who have won multiple Prems, Champions Leagues, etched in the history books for Manchester United, and I was upset about them leaving. And this guy here is the one that people are upset about leaving. There is no one at Manchester United right now, probably bar Kobe, Yoro, Ahmad. No one else I would be upset if they left. Honestly, there is no one else that I would be upset if they left. And even some of the 3 that I just mentioned is I'm being nice. I'm really being nice. I feel sorry for Rasmus Hojlund in terms of the abuse that he got, but he never. I can only go off of what he's done on the pitch, and it's never been good enough for Manchester United. And it's just unfortunate for him that he has to bear the brunt of this the pressure, but that's because you're the striker. If you were any other position, if you were a midfielder, I think he would have got away with it. If he was a midfielder, I think he could have got away with it. If he was a fullback, I think he could have got away with it. If he was any of those other positions, I think he could have got away with it. But he's not. So you have to firm the L. You really have to firm the L. Now this has just come out of nowhere, guys. Please just say yes, no in the chat. Yes to Upamecano or no, because it's being reported that Upamecano's agent Musa Sissoko has offered his client to Premier League clubs, including Manchester United. He's out of contract next summer, if I'm not wrong. Surprise, surprise, he's probably looking for a new contract at Bayern Munich. No. I think he's a good defender, by the way. There's the Upamecano thing that just went viral because of obviously that clip from, I think it was African television, Upamecano, or was it Arabian sport? But I don't think there's much to this, guys. I do think Man United need a central centre back. 100%, I believe Man United need a progressive central centre back, but that's not prime time requirement. It's something that we can look over for now. If we're getting a Carlos Baleba, if we're getting another goalkeeper, we can look past that. But Upamecano is probably just looking for a new deal. Like Musa Sissoko is his agent. I can't believe that. He's probably just looking for a new deal. It wouldn't be the first time, can I say, that Manchester United have been used for what's it called? For contract talks. And I don't think he's the worst player. I definitely think, he's an all right player. He's an all right centre back. But I just don't think he's a miles of an upgrade of what we have already. I want Man United to go and sign Goalkeeper from RB Leipzig next summer. That's my personal preference. But listen, guys, we are 2 likes off 100. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do hit the like button on your way out. What do we have coming? And big up to everyone that came through, people who sent in a super chat. I appreciate that as well. Hopefully we get some Baleba update today, tomorrow. Maybe Man United will officially put in a bid. What do we have coming over the next couple of days? Tomorrow we will have a Baleba breakdown video dropping tomorrow afternoon, so make sure you guys check that out. Hopefully that video that I'm about to edit has not been done in vain and Man United actually end up bidding for him. So I'm going to do a breakdown on Carlos Baleba. And then obviously the football season is back on Friday. We have so much content dropping throughout the football season. We'll be doing obviously tactical breakdowns before the game, or tactical previews before the game. And then we'll do tactical breakdowns after the game. Also, we'll do match reactions to a lot of games throughout the season. Try and fit in some watch-alongs here and there. The women's football will be back soon, so I'll be doing watch-alongs for the women's team. I have a huge announcement to make, guys. The biggest announcement that I've never envisioned that I'd make. I will be making that announcement in the coming weeks once I get the okay that I can announce it. So make sure I'll probably do it as a video. But yeah, make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Big up to all the new subscribers that's just come through over the last couple of days. Tomorrow, keep an eye out for the Baleba video. If there's any breaking news between now and tomorrow, you lot know I will A, drop a video, or B, be live. I hope you enjoy your Tuesday evening. It is baking in London tonight, guys. It's like 32 degrees. So I'm going to go enjoy the sunshine. And why did I just click on the thumbnail? Because I wasn't even leaving, but I am now. Big up to everyone. Hit the like button on your way out, guys. Have a good evening. I'm out. Peace.